What's up, guys? Ryan and Tiffany here.
Good morning. It is early.
It is early.
Right?
We don't normally do live streams this early.
Yeah.
And Tiffany made a comment. I said like 10 minutes ago, I said, let's do this live. And she's like, I got to go put a bra on.
Well,
and I said,
wouldn't that be appropriate to come on live to put a bra on? I don't think
we would get a lot more views if you weren't wearing a bra, Tiff. I'm just saying.
I sit below the camera here, so I'd be okay. But I put a bra on for you guys this morning.
Okay. No, nobody cares. Okay. So just a crazy week. Just this morning, they released the body cam footage from the shooting that happened in Brandon. So just do a quick recap, Tiff, of the shooting for people that don't know about it yet, and then we'll kind of play the body cam.
So for those that don't know what happened, which I'm sure we all do, because most of us are local here, but just moments down the road, like we're talking 2-3 minutes from our house, there was a active shooter. There was a complete, shootout happened right on Highway 60, major highway, right?
And this is, I didn't know, dude. Like when this first happened, they're saying there was a shooting. I'm thinking, statistically, most shootings are a couple rounds, right?
Yeah.
But they released the bad guy fired 72 bullets at the cops.
This is, I will tell you this, like Sheriff Chronister said, by the grace of God, because 72.
How did somebody in the church not get killed? In those neighborhoods not get killed? Driving by.
Filling up gas. Like, oh my gosh. By the grace of God.
Yeah.
So craziness that he just kept on, obviously. So in the beginning, right, when we, talked about this story, not yesterday, the day before, we didn't really know a lot of information, right?
Because it had just happened.
Right. So it was kind of played off as he was pissed off at this car wash employee, and he kind of pulled out his gun and started shooting. So we're thinking, right, one magazine.
Right.
Maybe you've got two on you and you're reloading. But no, this guy had a plan.
He had two guns.
He had multiple guns. He had everything, ready to go in the car or in this black van. So ready to go, right?
Why's the van got to be black?
Because it was a black van. So it's crazy to know that this guy was a ticking time bomb, right?
So now, do we know why he had these guns in there? Was he planning to go to his job or go to?
We don't know that yet, and we also don't know, right? Because he claims the reason that he did this was because he was so pissed off at the mental health care that he had just received from a hospital nearby, right?
So I wonder if this guy was gearing up to go to this hospital.
And what did he say to those people, the hospital? Why was he so pissed off? Did he tell them, I'm ready to do something like this, or what happened? That's what I want to know, but I don't think we ever get that information, right?
Well, usually if stuff like that happens, they'll come forward and say, well, actually, I guess it's the HIPAA law, right?
I was going to say HIPAA, you can't say.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, what he went there for and why he was so disturbed at the care that he got. Now, we all know that there is a massive hole in the mental health system, not just in the, state of Florida, but in the whole nation, right? We've said this over and over and over again. And every time that something like this happens, it always 99% is a mental health issue.
Yeah, it always boils down to mental health and lots of warning signs that there were mental health issues. So let's play this body cam, then let's kind of discuss it and see kind of what happened.
Fighting body camera video of Hillsborough County deputies under fire. Not a single person was hurt, despite 72 bullets flying through the air.
The sheriff saying the suspect was suffering some kind of mental breakdown, and crisis negotiators were able to talk to him despite the rage he was clearly feeling.
ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska connected with mental health experts today to find out how new deputy training kept this situation from ending in tragedy.
Sheriff Chad Chronister told us that the shooter had at least 2 weapons on him, but they're just now getting a search warrant to go through his vehicle. So they're going to be looking at whether or not there were more weapons and ammo inside that car. And as you mentioned, when you see the video we're about to show you, it's not just lucky, it's a miracle that no one was hurt.
He's reloading. Drop your weapon!
He's shooting at us. Shots fired.
Thursday afternoon in Brandon, this is the scene. 3 Hillsborough County deputies in a firefight for their lives.
Hold on.
Chaos, an active shooter, the sheriff identifying the man as 35-year-old Daniel Lighty. A bullet hitting a deputy's patrol car on the way in, missing her by inches. The sheriff telling us at some point Lighty went back to his car and called 911, explaining a motive for his actions.
He made no comments afterwards, only stuck to his intentions that he was upset by the treatment for his mental health crisis that he received here at a local hospital.
Crisis negotiators talked him down, Lighty surrendering peacefully.
When we think about what the sheriff said.
Okay, we lost Tiffany because we got a door knocker at her house right now.
Okay.
But absolutely insane. Now, listen, right before this live stream started, I made a comment to Tiffany that I got to kind of recant a bit. What I said is, these cops fired a lot of bullets. Mm-hmm. And the news media was playing it off saying, like, due to the police's high level of training, nobody was injured. And I said...
Recent training. I guess they just did some type of recent training.
Okay, but my comment was, if the bad guy's firing 72 bullets and nobody got shot, I assume the cops fired close to that, right?
No, I don't think they did.
Listen, they fired at least 30, okay? You suck at shooting, was my comment. And what she said is, did you realize how far away they were?
Got mad because, it's easy to judge everyone and it's easy to, when you're not there, when you're not in that situation.
So I wasn't paying attention to how far away they were. Again, I'm very familiar with this car wash. And yes, there's like the car wash and there's like a building that's actually vacant where there used to be like a Jiffy Lube oil change kind of business. And, it is far. Like, I would say it's easily 80 yards. Mm-hmm. It's pretty far.
It's far. And you're not going to, listen.
And with the handgun, that is very difficult. What I'm shocked by is that sheriff's deputies responding to an active shooting don't have an AR-15.
I don't know what they, knew, but I thought they all had ARs in their trunk.
That's what I thought.
Don't they have a shotgun and an AR?
Yeah, shotgun's not going to be super effective at that distance because
I know, but I'm just saying, I thought that's what they still had in their vehicle always. They had their handguns, then they had the shotgun, and then they had an AR in the trunk.
I don't know. But a carbine would have been a much better option in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they definitely needed something else. So... because isn't the saying like fight your way to a rifle?
Yes, that is the saying. Yeah,
that's why everybody needs a rifle. People ask, why do I need an AR-15 or something like that?
Because a handgun is not good enough.
Because a handgun is not good enough. And I think that they did a great job because you got to remember they don't just want to shoot wildly either. This is a very busy area. This is a middle of the day, lots of people around, and. They're so far back, but two, this guy, he's not letting up. I don't know that they were expecting him to have also this much ammunition available. True. I think they just thought the same that we thought when we first heard about it. Here's a pissed off guy, pulls out his gun, shots fired, right? It wasn't until later that they realized, like, no, this dude
is like ready.
This dude is ready, and this guy, is wanting to do.
So I'm curious. Did he have an AR-15, the bad guy?
No, he didn't.
So he just had handguns and he just did like 5 emergency reloads.
He had a bunch of magazines. He had a couple of handguns, but he had a bunch of magazines loaded in the car because they kept saying, he's going to reload. So I guess he was grabbing more and reloading. But, you got to also remember, these sheriffs, they're not superheroes.
Sure.
Okay, they're people just like us. Yes, they're more trained, but they've got families and stuff like that, and they had to remain behind cover. They're not going to
you shouldn't move yourself from cover.
They're not going to just run out,
But you should also have the proper tools to neutralize a threat. That's
the proper tools, yes, but from what I'm saying is from that distance, there wasn't anywhere for them to run next to. They were trying to get behind the cars to get there, but there really wasn't a lot.
And frankly, based on like the footage, right, it seemed like SWAT was obviously coming.
Yes.
SWAT, I don't know if this is true anymore in Hillsborough County, but back when we owned the gun store, there was a policy in Hillsborough County that patrol officers were not allowed to have. Like, they just had to have a base level AR-15 carbine in their vehicle.
Yes,
just had to have
level.
fixed iron sights, no optic, no flashlight. They weren't allowed to have any of that.
Yeah.
And we had a friend in TPD SWAT. I don't remember his name. You remember the really big Jack dude?
Yeah.
Whatever. His rifle was totally tricked out. Optics, all that stuff, right? So I think that honestly, it's one of the big things that really pisses me off is that politicians and lawyers are preventing the police. I want the cops to have the greatest technology that exists.
Yeah, because when something like this happens, you want them
They
to be
need an
prepared.
advantage, right?
Yeah.
They need to have aim point optics, Trijicon optics. They need to have nice tactical lights. They need good shit.
Yeah.
And it bothers me that because of lawyers and politicians and all that nonsense, they give them these basic crap 1960s AR-15s.
Yeah, I totally agree. So yeah, if you know that area, the guy was over by the vacuums, they said, which is a big parking lot of vacuums. That's all it is, right?
Say it again?
They said that he's over by the vacuums, which if you know, that is a big parking lot with vacuums.
Right.
That's all there is. So that's why they couldn't get in closer because it was just wide open, right? He was in the middle of a wide open parking lot. So they were surrounding the area behind buildings and stuff, but crazy story.
Yeah.
I was just so, floored to see that it was 72 shots and then to see that body cam video.
Okay. Statistically, a concealed carry permit holder is never going to have to perform an emergency reload during a shooting. Oh, we shouldn't. I won't touch my gun.
You can't.
Back up. I won't touch my gun, but I'll touch my holster. So I carry this spare backup mag. Statistically, I'm never going to have to use it. But this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're just there vacuuming your car with your kids. This guy goes ballistic.
Mm-hmm.
The 15 rounds that come stock in a Glock 19, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
If the bad guy's got 72 or more, you're going to need an extra mag.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect case of why everybody needs an extra magazine with them at all times.
Yeah, so the holster that Ryan was showing is called the Access Elite, or the Slim Access Elite, I think it's called. So it actually, the Kydex has it's built in, right? The magazine holster.
Yeah, it's called the side saddle.
Thank you. Side saddle is built right in. So it's actually a very, very comfortable holster. If you guys are looking for something like that, it's really a great holster. And what is it, like $100, maybe $110 or something like that?
That's probably what I told you that I paid for it.
Oh my gosh. Seriously?
It's like
no, I've looked at it. Yeah, but it's a very comfortable holster. I've had to throw it on from time to time, and I find that it's very comfortable as well.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Marcus says every time Major Pro 2A stuff, so he's talking about constitutional carry, it comes to light, some person with mental health issues does something with a firearm too many times to be coincidental. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it's just like the riots and stuff, right? The only reason they were promoting the riots and all the violence is because it showed negative against Trump and they wanted Trump out of office. But now Biden, there's been riots, there's been violence. It's not on the news because it doesn't match their agenda. So yeah, I think there's a lot of very wealthy people out there that are in control of these media outlets, frankly, that shut down people like us that are trying to share our point of view.
Okay, so Jeff Rice says, I work in mental health, and there is a duty to inform if there's a reason to believe someone's going to hurt someone. Yes, I knew there was a duty to inform on certain things, right? Like if you know that they've hurt somebody else or molested someone or something like that. So I'm just curious as to why he was so mad. Like, what did you go in and say, and you were so pissed off at, what you didn't receive? Were you trying to get checked in? Were you like, I just really want to know what he was so mad about.
I heard a story yesterday from one of my friends, Wilfredo at Universal Jewelry Pawn. So freaking scary, man. So he said he sold the gun to this guy. Dude was totally normal, right? Yeah. Which we've done before, right? Yeah. Guy's totally normal, sells him ammo. And then the next day, the guy comes in and says, my gun is jammed. There was a failure to feed and the bullet was totally stuck.
Okay.
So Wilfredo, and he's like, I want a refund. I don't need the gun anymore. Okay. So Wilfredo's like, hey, listen, we don't do refunds on guns. Nobody does.
Yeah.
So he unjams it, sends a guy home. Next day, who do you think walks in?
The same guy.
Hillsborough County Sheriffs Deputies, detectives. This man murdered his wife, his daughter-in-law, and his niece or somebody like that.
Oh, no.
So now Wilfredo's like, holy crap, man. Did I fix the gun so that he could go kill them?
Oh, my gosh.
And Wilfredo was obviously like visibly shaken up and upset and stuff. And the deputy could see it. And the deputy said, listen, you sold him, or he stabbed them to death, stabbed the family to death. He didn't shoot him because the gun was jammed. And he didn't know how to fix it. So he stabbed them all to death. But and Wilfredo said, so the bad guy came into the store on Friday. He murdered them on Thursday. So Wilfredo said again, he came in, seemed normal. But he just murdered 3 people. We simply never know who we're dealing with, man. People are absolutely bonkers.
Wow.
And this is a perfect example of, I'm sure you guys heard, if you haven't already, my brand new book is launching. A most exciting thing to ever happen this year, called Florida Concealed
Carry. The most
Carry.
exciting thing for you, sweetie.
For everybody, for the world. This is going to be a global phenomenon.
No, I will say this. So I think, so I just got, I didn't tell you this, I just got the ship notice for them. So,
okay, so they shipped.
They said they were going into binding next week, but no, they actually sent the tracking number and said, within 24 hours, these suckers are shipping. So they're going to be here next week.
Awesome.
Which means, which I didn't want to say before because I didn't want to crush anybody's hearts, they are going to be here in time for Christmas.
So buy them as a gift. Buy them for random people.
Oh gosh, I think that this is the perfect stocking stuffer. Stocking stuffer. And let me just say this really quick, because I talk really quick anyway. It says Florida Concealed Carry, shoot or don't shoot. But this is for any gun owner.
Yeah, because this is, again, more mindset-related stuff. It's teaching you how to identify and avoid a potential threat way before it ever begins. Mm-hmm. And the way that I designed the framework, you can take whatever the laws are of the state that you live in, just plug it in, and answer the questions the way that we're proposing them.
Yeah.
And it's still going to make sense. So one of the skills that I think is like my superpower that I'm really good at.
Oh, a superpower.
I do. I believe this is taking something that's complicated and making it very, very easy.
Yeah.
I think I'm really good at that. And that's what we did with this book because the law is confusing.
Yeah.
Knowing when you can use a gun and not. Basically, there's a ton of misinformation out there and bad misinformation.
There is so much bad information.
So this is going to really break it down, make it super easy for you to understand, which is exciting.
Yeah, so go to floridashoottdon'tshoot.com. Get your copy. It's only $25. Like I said, it makes a great Christmas present or stocking stuffer for any gun owner because what you are doing is you are equipping them with the knowledge, right, to really, truly understand when they can shoot and don't shoot because they're...
I had a girl, I had a girl in the class the other day that somebody broke into somebody's vehicle and like stole something or whatever. So I asked the group, what would you guys do if you had a gun and you witnessed this happening? And this girl goes, and she was like 19, or I guess she was 21. So she must have been just 21, right? She goes, there's some people you just can't steal from. And I was like, okay. I said, so would you have shot him? And she's like, hell yeah. And I said, do you understand you'd go to prison?
You'd go to prison. And that's the thing. People have got to understand that this is what this book helps, right? Helps you break down and understand when you can shoot and when you can't. So anyway, guys, you got class I got class in a few minutes here. So we got to go get your book now at floridashoottdon'tshoot.com. What I was saying is Ryan and I are going to sign 100 copies, and we've already sold around, I think, like 70, 72. So if you want yours signed by Ryan and I, make sure you get your order in quickly.
All right, guys, have a great Saturday. Be safe. We'll see you soon.